no feast, and they come not time by years, for there is no night. How the gates shall never close to the sea, for square the rivers flow, and there is no God shall wipe away our tears. There is no death, no pain, no fear. And they come of times like years, for them there they need no sunshine. They see who falls now. God shall wipe away all tears, pain no fear, and they count no times like years. Let's sing the chorus again. God shall wipe. God shall wipe away all tears. There's no death, no pain, no fear. And they come no times like years for them. There's one more when we wait. The next one to read, there is a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we shall see it afar. Hymn number 428. 428. Sweet by and by, sweet by and by. There is a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar, for the Father away, to prepare us a way in the sweet, sweet by and by. How beautiful snow in the sweet, sweet
this time, welcome you all to this function tonight. Thank you what you have done for the whole week. Visiting the family, making phone calls, texting them, sharing with them. Thank you so much. We wish we keep doing this during this time as the family is still in the process of mourning. I know she had friends of all ages. It was very sad. It's a very bad experience. We pray that God keep restoring the peace and the comfort to the family. Please, don't be tired. This family needs a lot. At the end of this program, still the family needs us. Let's keep visiting them, calling them. Let's try to spend time with them, make sure they're eating this time. Thank you so much for the big support, for the financial support, for the moral support. So I will invite Pastor to come and do the program tonight. This is Pastor Ben.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to this very sad occasion with many questions. And so happy that you have been with the family since this happened and you continue to be with them. To start our program this evening, let us all stand as we make use of Psalm 181. That's Jesus came. I'd like to invite Elder Kamara and Sister Mrs. Morocco to come and lead us in this song. That's Jesus came. Song 181. Let us all stand, please. invite the mkoa.
Heavenly Father, we have sung this song of question. Do you really care? That has been a question towards all generations. And philosophers have come with a lot of deductions. Indeed, they somehow try to appeal to human intellect that you don't care. That you are too far away from us. You are less concerned with our predicaments. That man is on his own. Man determines his face. But I thank you, Heavenly Father, because this song has not just ended there, but we have realized that, oh yes, you care. You care. And we are fully persuaded that you care for us to the extent of giving us your only begotten Son, who came down here, tabernacled with us, and on that dark Friday he died. This is an emblem of the unconditional love. That in our midst, in our confusion, you care. And on that Sunday morning, your Son Jesus Christ rose up and presented to you the message of mission accomplished, that man has been reconciled to you. That man has now a second chance. That man can live forever. That's the reason why we are gathered here amidst sorrows, the pain, the grief. When we are enveloped in darkness, you come and speak light. Because you care, you come to us and pronounce peace. Because you care, we are ready. We are ready to hear your word. The word of comfort from your manservant. Because you care, we are rest assured that soon and very soon you'll come to take us home. And that's what we want to hear tonight. It is painful. And we acknowledge of this very fact. It is painful that Doline is no more, is not with us. But we want just to hear the words from you. The words that can heal our hearts. And when we'll be leaving this place, we'll say, indeed, it was a good thing that we came in your presence. Therefore, Lord, comfort us. We are ready to hear your word. We are ready to be comforted from you. We are ready to see you again. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Pastor Mukua, for that powerful prayer. Tonight, I need to deal with a question, of questions that are so hard to answer. See, when you read the Old Testament and the New Testament, there's two things that are very clear. One of them is found in the book of Lamentations 3, verses 22 to 23, which says, it is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions are not there new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. Each one of us can attest to that. We know that God has done so much in our lives. If each one of us was asked to give a testimony, you can be able to say of the many things that God has done unto you. It is because of him that we are here today. It's because of him that we are who we are. If you think of the journey that God has come with you, if you think about your family, if you think about your education, if you think about what you have gone through in life, you can point to the fact that it is because God cares for you. because He has brought you from far. It's because of it that we are here today. That's why we have sung the song, Does God Care? It's a question that we want to answer tonight, especially as we meet here for this occasion. How much does God care? So there's no question that we can attest to that. Many of us were nothing until God came into our lives. Many of us, when we were born, people thought you would never become anything until God intervened in your life and you became who you are. And that's why David says, what can I render unto the Lord? For all is goodness unto me. Those who care, just like God cares, when you think of what God has done unto you, you can ask that question, what can I render unto the Lord? You know, sometimes we forget who we are. Sometimes we forget about God in our lives. Sometimes we forget that it's because of Him that we can wake up every morning. Sometimes we forget that it's because of Him that we can breathe in and out. Sometimes we forget that it is because of Him that we have survived until this day. There's no question. But you know what? There comes moments in life, there comes times when we question whether God really cares. And I think in each one of us here, there are times when we have wondered. There are times when we have asked that question. There are times when we have wondered whether God is there. Come with me as we look at those moments. Charles was a very dear friend of mine. I went with him to the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. He was such a nice fellow. One that everybody loved. One that everybody wanted to befriend him. Such a nice guy. He was in charge of outreach program. Very committed young person. When he was done with his education, he went back to his country in Tanzania. And while he was there, he became sick. And he was brought back to Nairobi for treatment. While he was at Nairobi, Charles passed away. His wife was a little baby, and she was pregnant. They came to Nairobi to correct the body and take to Tanzania for burial. They had traveled all the way from Kenya, and they were just about to enter Tanzania when something very unique happened. Something very unfortunate happened. They were involved in an accident. And the wife died, the baby that was alive died, and the unborn baby died. Just like that, the entire family was wiped out. I can imagine what was going on in the minds of his parents. How could they answer the question, what did happen? That was the end of it. The entire family was gone. A few months ago, I read a story here in the US about this couple, sweethearts from high school. They had waited for this occasion. They had a very colorful wedding. And as the reception was over, they were on their way going home. As they were coming from one road connecting to the other one, there came a truck from the other side. It knocked them, and both of them died on the spot. That's Jesus' care. At those moments, how do you answer the question? When someone comes and tells you, Pastor, what exactly is going on? What do you say? You don't say anything. Those are the moments that when people ask, is God there? Does God care? Is He part of us? It's a question that many are asking even today. When I was at Nairobi, I attended a funeral where 5 members of the family passed away, and we were at the funeral of the 6th member of the family. As we were there, one of the family members was given a chance to speak. They stood up and they said, I don't know why my brothers and sisters passed away. And I don't know whether this is an act of God or somebody. I cannot understand. And he made this request to say, if it is someone who's doing all this, and maybe it is because of something that we did, I ask for forgiveness, so that we can have a chance to exist. I went back to Nairobi. That's where I was, pastor of Nairobi Central Church. I went back to Nairobi. Guess what? A week later, we got the news that the same guy who was requesting that they leave had passed away. And in this moment like that, you as a pastor, you go there and you just don't know what to say. But you see, these things have always been there. And I want to take you, I want you to come with me to the book of Luke chapter 1. And Luke is introducing us to a family. Zechariah, they call him, and his wife Elizabeth. The Bible says, both of them were righteous in the sight of God, observing the Lord's commands and decrees blamelessly. But they were without children. We are introduced to Zechariah, who was a priest, and his wife. God-fearing people, the Bible says. They were blameless, the Bible says. But they had one problem. They didn't have children. And they started praying over this issue that God will help them to get children. It took a long time that they forgot what they were praying for. And after they had forgotten, one day the angel of the Lord comes and says, hey, I have good news for you. Elizabeth is going to conceive, and she's going to have a baby boy. And with time, that happened. You read Luke chapter 2, how Elizabeth was so happy, so thankful that God had finally remembered them. And when John started preaching, he was such a powerful preacher. He said, behold the Lamb of God that taketh away the sins of man. It was so powerful that if he had claimed to be the Messiah, many people could have believed in him. It was such a powerful preacher that many people turned around and became the disciples of Jesus. But one day something happened. As he was ministering, he was taken in prison because of his ministry. And when he was taken into jail, he had no question in his mind that Jesus would come to his rescue. Zechariah and Elizabeth had waited for this boy for such a long time. They had seen him working miracles. They had seen him so powerful. They had seen him pointing people to the Messiah. He was such a simple person. He had a sense of humility. He wanted to lift up Jesus and no one else. So when he was taken in prison, somehow they knew that Jesus would be able to do something and be able to take him out of prison. But guess what? Jesus didn't do it. And so when John was in prison, he told all these things that Jesus was doing, and he was so discouraged that Jesus didn't care about him that he sent 2 of his disciples with this question: are you the one who was to come, or should we wait for another one? He was so discouraged. He thought that Jesus was his friend. He thought that Jesus was his cousin. He was in the ministry. didn't think that this would happen. He was so discouraged that Jesus was so busy out there doing miracles while he was in jail. And listen to me. As the two disciples came, they asked Jesus that question in the morning, but guess what? Jesus did not answer the question. In fact, the Bible says Jesus continued to work the miracles. He continued to preach. And these disciples are there waiting for an answer to take it to John. Since they came in, Jesus was doing what he was always doing. He did not answer the question. At the end of the day, he told them this message: go tell John what you've seen and what you've heard. And the blessed is he who is not offended because of me. What? All day? Has anyone ever ignored you? Have you ever asked someone a question and they don't answer you? Have you ever said hi to someone and they don't say anything to you? Have you ever said good morning and the people ask you what is so good about it? Jesus was telling John something that you and I need to understand. That God is there even when we don't see him. God is in the business of doing miracles on our behalf even when we don't realize that. God is there when we are happy. God is there when we are sad. God is there when we don't expect him to be there. He said, God tells him what you have seen, what you have heard. For a long time, I wondered about John the Baptist. For a long time, I wondered why. Until I read somewhere which says, Jesus knew that John, his death would be an avenue through which many will be saved. See, one thing we don't understand is that we will never at any time understand the way God does his own things. God knows the end from the beginning. God knows what he's doing. God knows all that we don't know, even when we don't understand why. And since getting this news, since receiving the news that Doline had passed away, many of us have cried and have asked the questions why. I can't answer those questions. Men have tried to answer them. It's pointless to answer those questions. I don't know. But there's one thing I know for sure. That through the death of Doline, there are many who will find a Savior. I have heard stories. I have heard people speaking. I have seen people reflecting on this. And take it from me. Take it from me. If this has not touched you, nothing will ever touch you. Are you listening to me? If this has not touched you, because we knew Doline so well, we knew what kind of a person she was. She's one of those that you have the feeling that she should be here forever. But for some reasons why we don't understand, she's in the casket today. And that's why James says, you and I, who say today or tomorrow, we will go to such a city and we will do business. And he says, well, you don't know about tomorrow. What's your life? You're like a mist that is seen for a while, and then that's what? Disappears. Then he says this. Instead, you have to say, if God is willing, But now you post and such posting is evil. You know, many of us have this feeling that we have a license to live in this world, but no. No, my dear friends, this world is not our home. We're just here for a moment. So to you, parents, to you, friends who are here, while we will never answer questions, while we will never understand what really happened, you have a chance to turn your life around. Because this world, well, every morning I leave my house, I say this silent prayer: Lord, if today is my last day in this world, remember me in your kingdom. Many of us work so hard, nothing wrong with that. Many of us save a lot of money, nothing wrong with that. Many of us have acquired so many things in this world, there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to tell you, one thing that you don't know is that you don't have a guarantee of being in this world. It is because of God's mercy that we are alive. And so, one thing that I know for sure, Bible says, God is not so much concerned when his children die, because they're going to rest. I don't know of any parents here who cries when their children go to sleep at night. Do you? You will see them. God is so much concerned about people who die without knowing him. Why? Because once you die, you don't have another chance again. Contrary to what many think. The only time you have that you can connect between you can make a connection between you and God is when you are alive. Once you die, your case is done. Hey, we are started this evening. There's no question about that. And we have been praying so much. But I have good news for you. God who created this world, God who knows the end from the beginning, God who knows why Doline died at this moment, has said, the time is coming when death will not have any power on us. The time is coming when we are not going to cry anymore. The time is coming when all those who have slept in the Lord will hear his voice and will come back. The time is coming, like the song says, when the Lord is called out beyond that, I'll be what? The question is, will you be there? Will I be there? My friends, at times like this, you need to spend a few moments and ask yourself this question: am I ready? At times like this, you might want to take time and ask yourself, what is it worth life without Jesus? At times like this, you need to ask yourself a question. So what of the millions that you have in the bank, but there is no Jesus in you? What will be the end of that? To the family members and to the friends who love Doline so much, my prayer to you is that let this be a turning point in your life, so that when Jesus comes, all those who have slept with his voice, those of us who are alive will be transformed, and that we will go and live with him forever and ever. So I encourage you to stand firm. I encourage you not to be like this elder He was a very powerful elder. He was always encouraging people. Whenever anything happened, he was the first one to be there. People chose him to be an elder from one year to another because he was such a powerful person. He was always there encouraging people to believe in the living God. One time, his son became sick and died. And the members knew that that was not going to affect him in any way because he had always come to encourage them. But guess what? He quit coming to church. People went on and say, hey, we haven't seen you at church. What happened? He asked a question that many, should I say, maybe I shouldn't put this terminology, but I think I should. Many who are foolish always ask, where is God when all these things happen? Because he's ever there. He takes care of you when you go to sleep. He provides for your needs. It's because of him that we have the rain. It's because of him that we breathe. It's because of him that we are not destroyed. Please, stand firm and let the world know that there is a living God. God who created Doline, God who took care of her, God who loved her so much, and God who has promised that a time is coming when we are not going to worry anymore. Stand with me as we sing the closing song, 216, When the Lord is called out yonder. And as we sing this song, something that I want you to ask yourself, will you be there? And if not, why not? Let us all stand as we sing 216.
Holy
when the Lord is called upon, I'll be where? I'll be where? The question is, as we live, God will leave this sanctuary. God has done everything possible to save you, to save your family, to save all of us. Jesus came to this world, lived a life, was mistreated, went through so much, he was crucified so that you and me will be saved. God has waited for a long time. He should have come a long time ago to take people to heaven. He has been waiting for you and for me. All the suffering that is in this world, probably or surely you have a part to play, and I have a part to play. How I wish that when we leave this sanctuary, we can turn our hearts and say, "Oh, to Jesus, I surrender." That is my desire. Is that your desire? Can I see your arms up as we wind up? Father in heaven, we want to thank you so much for our meeting here tonight. We are so sad. Father, we have cried until we can't cry anymore. We have asked so many questions why. Father, we don't know why we died at this time. Why? Many questions why, but we cannot question whether you love us or not because you have demonstrated that over and over again. Tonight, I want to lift this family under the throne of grace. I pray that you continue to minister to them. Pray that you continue to assure them that you love them, that against the question of time, before the end of this world comes, and we will be able to see Doline again and all the loved ones who have passed away. This evening, Father, see all those sons that are born up. Indeed, we want to change our lives. I don't know about everyone else. I want to be ready. So, Father, as we leave this sanctuary today, pray that you may come in our hearts and we can surrender and be ready. Father, we have sung a beautiful song. The Lord is called out beyond the I'll be there. My prayer is that all those who have heard this message tonight, when all is said and done, they will be saved under thy kingdom. Father, you are willing to let us be saved. Father, you are willing, you have done everything possible. It now remains to each and every one of us to surrender. And tonight, as we leave this sanctuary, we want to sing the song, "Oh, to Jesus, I surrender." Thank you as we come to the end of this service. Continue to be with the family, continue to be with the friends for Sunday meeting and Monday. But may thy will be done, now and forevermore, for we pray in Jesus' name. Thank you so much. I now want to invite the Master of Ceremony to give us the updates before we leave.
Thank you, Pastor, for the good sermon tonight. Again, for those who came late, it's my humble to say thank you for the time you have spent visiting the family, calling them, texting them. Please, thank you so much. The family needs you more. Please, visit the family, spend time with them. Please make sure that they do it this time. Thank you again. Please, let's thank the family during this moment. At this time, I will invite my co-chair, Chavez, to give the updates. Chavez.
the pastors who have had a chance to join us today here. I do see Pastor Joseph Mobeli. I do see Pastor Eric who prayed. And probably in our midst, there are other pastors and elders and members of the community who have come to share with us this moment of bitterness, for we know that Monyenye is not here with us physically anymore. Mine tonight is symbol that I've been asked to give updates. But even as I do this with the knowledge that I know that Doline might not be here, but when you look around, you can see the parents, Elder Omirera is with us. The mother, Pauline Nyamoita, is here. And I do see son Brian Mogoi. And I was looking around to see Leonard Nyandoro probably. I have not seen him either. Of course, I cannot forget Linda. Dear wonderful kids, good to see you. Please, members, allow me to mention that today Sister Pauline is not as strong as most of us know. If I ever ask a question, if there's any pulpit that Pauline has not preached, I cannot say which one is this. If I ever ask among the elders who doesn't know Omirera and his family, I don't think anyone can answer that. And yet, I'm convinced probably that maybe somehow we may have not had chance to give the updates in time of need that I expected most of us to respond beyond even the space that we have available tonight. But as they say, God knows the end from the beginning, and He made it possible that those of you who have come tonight, the family, the committee dealing with this tragedy, sincerely thank you in such a big way. And speaking of that, if you have not had chance to meet the family, the good news is that we managed to secure a house where it's closer to where we are today. You can make a point of stopping there and be able to talk to them one-on-one. And I want to give you the address, which is 712 Capstone Way here in Shakopee. The zip code is 55379. And when you do this, what the family needs is more prayer. But again, allow me to apologize one thing though, that as per our tradition, a time like now we have find a few moments to give, few people to give words of encouragement to the family, the same way Elder Omirera and Sister Pauline have done in the past. But allow me to say that this might not be possible tonight. But I want to tell you that the next program that we're going to undertake for Sunday and Monday
we will create a spot for the community members and those close family members to be able at least to express their condolence for the loss of this daughter of ours, a sister of ours, a grandchild of ours. And Brother Omirera, when I speak this, you are aware that there are youth out there who wants to come and sing like a final farewell to the one that they loved most. But even when the time does not allow, we will try the best we can in making sure that this takes place. And I appeal, Brother Henry, you did good by sharing that message. Once again, once you get time, please make sure more people get this message. And if they decide not to come, may it be their desire, the panic in their heart that they could not be able to make it. Now finally, our daily meeting that we meet from 7:30 through 8 may not also take place tonight, but we plan to have the same meeting from tomorrow through Saturday, after which our main program will also take place on Sunday, right in this premise, and the program will start from 4 o'clock through 7 p.m. And I know it is a little bit distance, but when you have a friend and you want to be with them, the distance does not count. And when it comes to Monday, the final day that most of us have been waiting, we also call upon each and every one of you to drive right here. We start the program at 10 a.m. in the morning. After the program, we proceed to the graveyard, which is not really far from here, and that's where we'll be able to finish the program for what was started. Allow me to finish with this sentiment that there are those also who have had chance to support the call for financial assistance. And I'm sure I've gotten so many texts from members, some of them I haven't met you, that is money enough to take Doline to Kenya. But I want to tell you, Doline is not being shipped to Kenya. She's going to be late here on Monday. The other question, Sister Monyenye, Pauline, they're asking is if you manage to get here from Kenya. And I want those who are watching, and the camera can always focus, my sister Pauline, she's right here. She's not as strong as she used to be. She needs our strength, and that's what we call upon each and every one of us, to be the steadfast, to come and be able to console with the family. For those youths who are planning for the event, both for Sunday and Monday, we have a program lined for you, and you will get a spot to be able to participate. With these remarks, allow me to yield back and give the mic back to the Master of Ceremony, after which to give us more details as we continue with the program. May God bless you as you continue supporting the family through prayer, financial, and any other call for means.
Good evening. Just a quick update, please. One, we will have minutes to have a body viewing. So we have time. We have time to do that. So you can just hold for a minute so that we finish the program. Then we can have everybody go through the line, and then we can have the body viewing. Secondly, as Chapel told you, intentionally today it's meant to be the way it is. So we've seen so many leaders who have come to pray with the family. Please bear with us. This is how it's going to be, and this is how it's going to end. We've seen so many leaders. I see Madam President Monyenye Omirera, she's here, and I'm a very close friend to Doline. So many people have personal stories about Doline. We ask that you save that for Sunday. Everybody has a story. Keep it, save it for Sunday and Monday. We will do that. Now, the next thing that I will actually ask you to do, please, bear with us until everything goes through. The address again, once again, because I live right by where they are, it's 712 Cobblestone, Shakopee. That is just off Marshall Road on 169 if you're headed south on 17th Avenue. So it's just around there. Now, we're going to have our vote of thanks from our elder, Simon Yamari. My name is Nelson Magutu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Nelson. Now mine is to give a vote of thanks. And on behalf of the family, I would like to thank the organizing committee who have worked tirelessly since we were hit by this tragedy, and organized members of the community. So thank you so much, the organizing committee. I'll thank our pastors who have visited the family, who have been there conducting services every evening. We thank you so much for consoling, comforting the family, and more so, giving words of comfort the community members who feel the loss of our daughter, Sister Doline. We also like to thank, on behalf of the family, the members of Rock of Ages and Rosemount SDA Church, who have actually visited the family, cooked for the family, and got to visit them, to pray with them. This also goes to all other members, community members from other churches who have also done the same. I will also recognize the community leaders for passing messages to everybody, trying to make sure that the message of Sister Doline, who passed tragically south in California, has gone reached to each and every corner of our community. So thank you, our community leaders. And I see quite a number of you are here. I'm not going to mention names, but know that you've also been recognized. In this one, I'll not forget to thank the youth. The youth lost one of theirs And they have really shown us that they can come together and mourn the loss of one of them. They have been there during the evening Zoom meetings, and they will continue. And as you have heard, that they are really organized to show us on how they will send Sister Doline to our resting place. And as you heard that on Sunday, we are having a fundraising, and then on Monday, that's when she will be laid to rest at Shakopee Valley Cemetery. And so, with that, I wish to open this to all of us to come and view the body. And we will start from that, going this way. As you come from there, you go, you view, and then go that way. Come from there, go that way. So we go like that, systematically. So thank you so much for coming. And lastly, I would like to thank Pastor Brian for taking the time to make sure that each and everything runs smoothly. And also our ITEC person, and that is Mr. Kebuato, who is here with us, who helps us when it comes to this function. And as you can see now, everybody is seeing what's going on here because of his skills and ingenuity. Thank you so much. Now, the floor is open for viewing. Thanks.